Hi, I'm Rodney with Dawn Equipment, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the Pluribus Strip-Till unit here. We're at the National Strip-Till Conference in Coralville, Iowa. Just a couple of notes about the Pluribus units, a couple of new things that we have. Many of you guys may be familiar with the Pluribus unit. One of the things you may not be familiar with is our new floating row cleaner. This is an air adjust row cleaner that's mounted rearward from the front coulter on the Pluribus unit. And it does give you the ability to kind of vary how much pressure you're going to have your row cleaner engaging the residue as you split it with that front tillage cutting coulter. You probably know about the pneumatic downforce actuator that we have here, the airbag for the Pluribus unit. One of the other options that we do have available for the Pluribus unit is our downforce actuator, our hydraulic downforce actuator, the RFX. And so for some folks who are interested in having that hydraulic suspension on their Pluribus unit, we do have a cradle now available with the RFX unit, at least in manual control. For folks who are interested in automating the Pluribus unit and automation in general, you know, there are some options available going forward, and if you want to call Dawn and talk to us about that, we'd sure like to visit with you about some potentials as far as automating the Pluribus strip-till unit. What we've really been seeing a lot, especially starting out east, and it's kind of been tying in with a lot of the conversation that we've been having with conservation farming in general and strip tillage, is the cover cropping. For folks who are cover cropping, Dawn does have, as part of their Dawn Biologic division, we have the BioBar. The BioBar is a caddy that has a place where you can put in some granular fertilizer. In the case that you want to strip till with it, you can also put in seed if you want to do some seeding of cover crops. And the idea is that there's a 3-point hitch on the back of that toolbar. Then we have a variety of toolbars that will bolt onto the back of it, whether it's a strip-till unit, whether it's a fertilizer opener, or whether it's a planter. And on the front of that, then, we can bolt our new ZRX tool, where the ZRX was going to bolt out in front of the BioBar, and it's going to mow down, it's going to crimp kill our ryegrass, our cereal ryegrass, and then we'll follow up with the strip tiller. And so that is definitely kind of an emerging trend in farming in general. It's particularly popular out east, Pennsylvania. We just had a field day out there where we're highlighting both the Duo seed, which is our new row crop interseeder, and the ZRX, where we're talking about cover cropping. We didn't have the strip tiller out there, but we have done some field days where we're showing that as a possibility. The other nice thing about the ZRX, it's a great tool, as a residue management tool in general, for rolling down corn stalks, protecting tires, in fact, and still moving it out the full width path. And we're going to go through and we're going to strip till it. And at the same time, we can put some fertilizer down. So in the case that we're wanting to remove fertilizer from the planter row unit, we can put down fertilizer with the strip tiller, manage our cover crops, all using the BioBar. One of the things that Dawn has been doing in the last couple of years, well, 5 to 7 years, is we've been getting a lot into compact electrohydraulics and automating the planter row unit. In fact, the first test that we did with automating a row unit on a parallel link was with the Pluribus unit and what we were calling the foresight device, which was a tool that we had out in front so it could judge the depth, you know, between a blade that was going into the ground and a gauge wheel that was riding above the ground. So we could see how much pressure roughly we needed in order to get a device like the Pluribus unit in the ground. And this thing would change on the go, much like your automated planter downforce systems. I would argue that going forward, at least with Dawn, is that you're going to see far more and more automation of the strip-till unit. You know, we're going to be very careful about, you know, how we are adjusting the downforces required in order to properly manage that soil, get it worked up into a nice seed bed, but not worry about some of the problems that we have with plugging when we are applying excess downforce, for example, or we have something strange going on with the trash wheels. They're in the wrong position. They're getting it such that the residue is flowing in to the strip, into that area, rather than being pushed out and away from the strip area. And so these are all things that can be automated, and that going forward, I believe very strongly will be automated. Certainly Dawn has already done a lot of testing as far as automating the strip tiller, and will continue to automate the strip tiller further. The Strip-Till Conference certainly one of the nice things about it is that when all the people who are walking by are obviously very interested in conservation farming practices, for I'd say the vast majority anyway, and each one of them has a unique perspective. They all come from pretty wide distribution of people that are coming in from all over the world, in fact, but lots of these guys are coming in from the Midwest. They're the guys that we want to talk to. We're interested in being a part of the change, going forward in agriculture, making things, being able to give better management tools to producers so that they can, do what they feel is best agronomically in their conditions. And so you get a unique perspective when you get all of these different guys coming in and telling you their story. Then you could start developing a tool set that is going to accommodate a wide variety of customers. The trick is making it modular and simple in such a way that this guy can use it up here in northern North Dakota, but this guy down in southern Indiana can also use it, just with some slight tweaks and modifications. And finding a unit that can, for the most part, work in both of those conditions relatively well, right out of the box.